said that Cleveland was going to be where all the action was. There is some intra-party feuding going on right here, and not such brotherly love these days. On the eve of the convention, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, chair of the Democratic National Committee, announced today, just a few minutes ago actually, that she's going to step down as chair of the party right after the convention. Listen to that. In a statement announcing her resignation, Wasserman Schultz said, quote, "The best way for me to accomplish those goals, which is to elect Clinton and serve her district, is to step down as party chair at the end of this convention. As party chair this week, I will open and close the convention, and I will address our delegates about the stakes involved in this election." Earlier today, a spokesperson for Congresswoman Martha Fudge said she would be presiding over the convention, not the DNC chair. The DNC chair says that Vice Chair Donna Brazil will serve as interim chair of the party through November. Wow, folks, this is all happening less than 23 hours to the opening convention gavel, a gavel that Debbie Wasserman Schultz would be dropping. The leadership shakeup comes after WikiLeaks published tens of thousands of emails that it says came from inside the Democratic National Committee. They appeared to show top officials criticizing and even at sometimes mocking Bernie Sanders during the primary, despite the DNC's public insistence at that time that it was always neutral in the process. One email from a top DNC spokesman read this, wondering if there's a good Bernie narrative for a story, which is that Bernie never had his act together, that his campaign was a mess. Another from the DNC CFO, Brad Marshall, reads, quote, "Can we get someone to ask his belief? Does he believe in a God? I think I read he is an atheist. This could make several points difference with my peeps. My Southern Baptist peeps would draw a big difference between a Jew and an atheist." Marshall issued an apology, calling his emails an embarrassment to the DNC. By the way, Bernie Sanders made clear last year in an interview with his hometown newspaper that he does believe in God. News of Wasserman Schultz's resignation announcement comes just hours after Sanders renewed his call for the DNC chair to do just what she finally did, step down.
There is no question but the DNC was on Secretary Clinton's side from day one. We all know that. The time is now for Debbie Wasserman Schultz to step aside. It's clear she is not going to be speaking to the convention. We had the opposition of virtually the entire Democratic leadership in every state in this country.
We should note it is not clear how WikiLeaks obtained those private emails. The Clinton campaign suggests it's the work of Russian hackers, and the DNC at the time when they were hacked seemed to imply that it was Russian hackers. By the way, just moments ago, Bernie Sanders issued the following statement on the news of Debbie Wasserman Schultz's resignation, and it reads, quote, "Debbie Wasserman Schultz has made the right decision for the future of the Democratic Party. While she deserves thanks for her years of service, the party now needs new leadership that will open the doors of the party and welcome in working people and young people. The party leadership must also always remain impartial in the presidential nominating process, something which did not occur in the 2016 race." Let's dive right in. I'm joined by Sanders campaign manager, Jeff Weaver.
Hi, Chuck.
Weaver. Nice to see you, sir.
Glad to be here.
Well, you guys have been out calling for this. I think you did it maybe even on this show about 2.5 months ago. You've been calling for her to resign. Why do you think it took till now?
Well, I just think the amount of evidence that came out, particularly with these hacked documents, I think really put in everybody in black and white what had really been going on at the DNC. I think some people before that thought it was just partisan fighting, but clearly what we experienced during the campaign was some real bias, and I think that the chairwoman did the right thing.
Walk me through how you believe, and give me a couple specific examples where DNC actions cost you votes.
Well, first of all, it was the debate schedule. Remember, early on in the campaign, there was quite a vigorous discussion of debates and how
many there were 3 a.m. debates and the
the Christmas Eve, the Christmas
Saturday debates.
Right. And you remember that Martin O'Malley, governor of Maryland, was also very concerned about the debate schedule. So that was certainly the first example. The second example was when they cut off access to our data in December, not long before the Iowa caucus, when we had to send volunteers home throughout Iowa because we could not contact voters in Iowa. That was certainly another.
They were policing the rules more with your campaign than with her campaign?
Well, I don't know about that.
You know what I mean by that? Like, you were being held to a different standard?
Well, I don't know what went on between the Secretary's campaign and the DNC, so I can't really speak to that. But I will say that I think on a number of occasions we felt treated unfairly. I think we were disadvantaged in a number of ways. That's not any way to impugn the victory that Secretary Clinton, received in this race. But just as a matter of fact, I think it is true that we were disadvantaged, and I think these emails show that.
Did this cost you the nomination?
No, I don't. I'm not going to say that it cost us the nomination. No, but clearly we were put at a disadvantage in ways that we should not have been.
A lot of your supporters are very upset. I hear about it. My email has shown up in one of these things as one of her complaints, and so they're mad at anybody that shows up.
Right.
I get it. Actually, I get it. What do you tell those supporters? Should they stand down? Should they keep fighting the Democratic Party? Should they keep fighting Hillary Clinton? What do you tell them?
No, look, what we're going to do, we're going to fight to reform the Democratic Party. I think this is the first step. I think this is an opportunity for a fresh start. We're going to have a new chair, Donna Brazil. I think is very different than Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I think she's going to have much more focus on the grassroots of the party, broadening the base of the party, bringing in new people. So I think Donna's not going to be intimidated by that, and I think that's really going to be healthy for the party. So I would tell people, stay involved, keep fighting for the progressive issues that Bernie was talking about throughout the race.
You guys have already done. You've already made some progress in rules and the platform. So, in some ways, her resignation is simply there's no tangible thing that comes with this anymore, right? It's not like there's anything you're done fighting on rules. You're done fighting on the platform.
Fight is not,
but
the fight's not done.
What more could she have stopped?
The fight is never done. The fight goes on. The political revolution, as Bernie calls it, goes on, and it goes on. It's going to continue. If he had been elected president, it would have continued. I mean, you heard him talk about mobilizing millions of people onto the mall. Right. Well, that has to happen regardless of who is president. And so this is what's going to go forward. We have the most progressive platform in the history of the Democratic Party. We have major reform of the rules, which is going to reduce the number of unpledged superdelegates probably by over 60%. But these things have got to be implemented. We need a DNC. We need a party that's going to open up its doors, bring people in, and help to fight to enact that progressive platform.
I asked this to Senator Sanders this morning. Jill Stein, the presumptive Green Party nominee, she of course is looking to take advantage of this scandal and say, hey, to Sanders supporters, you can't trust the Democratic Party. Come support my cause. How many Sanders supporters do you think end up Green Party voters?
I don't really know the answer to that. Obviously, Johnson's out there as well, may get some votes. Obviously, maybe even a few people thinking of voting for Trump. I hope not, because he certainly stands for everything that Bernie does not stand for. But I think what the resignation of the chairwoman signals today is, in fact, the people that support Bernie Sanders have been heard, and that we can affect change, but we just have to keep working at it.
I was just going to say, does the resignation should your supporters say, this resignation should show you that you're actually welcome in the Democratic Party?
Yeah,
they want you in.
You can make a difference. Yes, you can.
That actually they should see this as a positive development, not some sort of negative development.
It's a very positive development. I think it bodes well for the future of the party.
And Bernie Sanders tomorrow, nothing is wavering him in his support for Hillary Clinton?
No, he is absolutely going to support Hillary Clinton for the presidency of the United States. We've got to defeat Trump. Trump is a very dangerous person. In the White House, he would reverse many of the gains we've made over the last decades.
All right, Jeff Weaver, what a ride.
Been a long ride. Not over yet. It never seems to be over.
It doesn't seem to be over. You probably thought it was.
No.
All right.
Some days I think it is, but it never is.
Well, we will see you soon. Thanks for coming on. Good to see you, Jeff. Ahead of the opening gavel.